your side tonight with Jamie Bowles starts now.
Thanks for sticking with us here at 7:30. Remember a couple of years ago as we were coming out of the pandemic? We're hiring signs seemed to be everywhere. Tech companies, manufacturers, restaurants, they were all looking for workers. Well, since then, hiring in a lot of industries has evened out, but not all.
We know that child care providers are having issues finding folks to work in child care. We've heard from providers directly that this is an issue that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, a lot of child care centers are still desperate to hire. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows the number of people currently working in child care services just came back to parity with pre-COVID numbers. But that doesn't mean it's kept up with the growing demand. It is estimated 100,000 Americans are forced to stay home from work each month because of child care problems. And pay has been a big barrier when it comes to hiring.
You'll hear about a lot of turnover at child care facilities, and quite simply, it's because the teacher pay at many of them is not keeping up with the rest of the, available jobs. You could look at Amazon, Starbucks, CVS, any retailer is going to pay more than many child care facilities.
That is Katie Peralta with our news partners at Axio Charlotte. Her reporting found child care teacher salaries remain around $14 to $15 per hour in North Carolina, and that is after a $2 to $3 an hour bump thanks to a federal grant program that was set up during the pandemic. Well, that program is now set to expire coming up this summer, and it comes after another program that helped offset operating costs at daycare centers ended last April. It has daycare operators on edge. The North Carolina Child Care Resource and Referral Council surveyed more than 1,500 of them, and they found 29%, almost 3 in 10, say if help doesn't come, they'll be forced to close.
I can definitely say that providers are terrified of the prospect of either closing their doors permanently or raising tuition to levels that could be totally cost prohibitive to parents. The issue is I'm not sure all parents across the state with toddlers and young children are aware of how dire the situation is in the child care industry. This industry has really been sort of in dire straits for a number of years, and the pandemic really exacerbated some of its kind of underlying issues that had to do with, staffing, demand that far outweighed supply, rising rent, et cetera. So now with the upcoming expiration of several pandemic era grants from the government, the industry is kind of sounding the alarm bell that without government assistance, they could be forced to make some really challenging decisions.
So if the pay support ends and they want to keep salaries where they are, that means that cost gets passed on to parents, right? And we already know how unaffordable it can be at times for many families.
Absolutely. So at a certain point, a family might decide that it makes sense no longer to send a child to daycare if one of their salaries is just going to daycare costs, or if their salary doesn't even keep up with the cost of daycare, especially if you're talking about multiple children. It's incredibly cost prohibitive to families, and in so many situations, families cannot afford it. So there ends up being one parent, typically the mother or the wife or whatever, who ends up dropping out of the workforce entirely. And at the end of the day, that's a real strain on North Carolina's economy if you have workers dropping out simply because they don't have child care.
So it's obviously just a massive issue. So this was federal money, right, that we're talking about here that's expiring, and now there's a push for the state to step in.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so what do we want to see happen here? How likely is it to happen with state lawmakers?
So the industry is now asking state lawmakers to consider a $300 million basically Band-Aid to help to offset some of these costs that are going, or some of these grants that are going to expire in June. State lawmakers realize that this is a problem. They have not included child care in their budget, same with like the federal government. But I think that there's certainly a recognition that absent this assistance, there could be some really detrimental ripple effects on the rest of the economy.
It sounds like it's bipartisan then. People understand both sides of the aisle.
Yes, there's been bipartisan support for this in the past. So I think that they do have reasons to believe that there will be assistance from Raleigh on this one.
But will it come in time? PACE support ends at the end of June. North Carolina General Assembly begins its short session at the end of April. We'll keep you updated. And Katie has been following this issue closely. You can find her previous reporting by going to the website here, axios.com/local/Charlotte. We're on your side tonight with a spring nuisance, allergy season. Approximately 81 million Americans suffer from seasonal allergies. That number may include you.
Your eyes become red and watery, constant runny nose. Definitely it feels longer, and I suffer for longer periods of time.
Well, he's right about that. Allergy season is getting longer, starting 20 days earlier and lasting 10 days longer than it was in the 1990s. And the amount of pollen in the air has increased more than 20%. First Alert meteorologist Rachel Coulter joins us now. So what's the pollen count in Charlotte this week?
Gosh, they are high today, and it's going to be the case through tomorrow, and then finally we'll get a little bit of relief as we head towards the middle of the week, but that's because of the rain chances that we're talking about. Again, first alert in place late Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. I'll be talking about that forecast in terms of the timing of the rain itself here in a few minutes. Not so great for the morning commute, especially if we have some strong storms in some of our southeastern counties. However, does help us out when it comes to pollen counts, and it's interesting. I was looking at some data out towards Raleigh, so not the Charlotte area, but it's telling nonetheless. They had record pollen counts, especially with tree pollens. You're looking at oak, elm, and juniper out that way, and their records go back from 2024 all the way to about 2002 or 2004, so about 20 years of data there, and they had the highest counts, pollen counts in Raleigh today on record. So very, very high counts, not only today in Raleigh, but here in the Charlotte area. That's going to continue through tomorrow, and again, that rain's going to take those numbers down. So here in just a few short minutes, Jamie, I'll have another hour-by-hour update on what we can expect, but also want to focus in on the temperature drop that we're expecting. That's just a few minutes away.
We'll see you then, Rachel. Thank you. Now, for those looking to minimize pollen exposure right now, you want to change your clothes and shower once you get home to remove pollen particles from your body. Keep windows closed and use high-efficiency filters in your home's ventilation system. And if you're taking allergy medicine, you want to begin 2 weeks before the season starts, so hopefully you're already doing that. All right, we're on your side tonight, asking about the history of April Fool's Day. April 1st is a day full of shenanigans, pranks, and tricks. The big prank in Charlotte were these photos circulating online of a fake advertisement claiming the popular convenience store Buc-ee's was coming to our city. We checked the Buc-ee's website. There was no mention of Charlotte in sight. That brings us to tonight's good question. How did April Fool's Day start? Well, the short answer here is historians aren't quite sure. But there are some theories out there. Some historians have linked April Fool's Day to festivals such as Hilaria, which was celebrated in ancient Rome at the end of March. It involved people dressing up in disguises and mocking their neighbors and judges. According to the History Channel, some historians believe France is responsible for all of this. They're tying that tradition to a calendar change back in 1582. That year, France implemented the Gregorian calendar, shifting the start of the new year from the spring equinox, which usually falls around April 1st, to January 1st. So after the change, people who wrongly celebrated the new year in late March and early April were called April Fools. The first documented reference to April Fool's Day was in 1561 in a Flemish poem by Edward de Den. According to the Library of Congress, it tells the story of a servant being sent on fool's errands because it is April 1st. So the origin's still unclear, but this is no joke. Clinical psychologists say April Fool's jokes may actually be good for you.
Humor and laughter have amazing long and short-term benefits to the body and the brain.
That's because when we laugh, our bodies release some important chemicals. Oxytocin, which she says promotes bonding and feeling close to others. Dopamine makes us experience pleasure. And endorphins, a natural pain reduction chemical.
Once a year, we are granted permission to play a prank or to be silly. So we really need to take that opportunity.
Albert says humor can help us feel connected to others, release tension, allows you to also have some fun, and can help you manage certain feelings.
Humor is a really important psychological mechanism for coping with the heavy things in the world. It just helps us to lighten up and look at the situation in a much different way.
But remember, on every April Fool's, you could be the target of a joke, too.
It's important to have your own sense of humor. Lighten up. Take the situation in a very lighthearted way.
And tomorrow's April 2nd. Coming up next here on Your Side Tonight.
I use about 3, and if you add the face mask, 4.
From face masks to creams and serums, many tweens right now love those skincare products. They're going to popular stores to buy into the trend. We're on your side with the products preteens should and should not use.